Live from the ESPN 1280 studios in San Luis Obispo, it is time. It is Living the Run. We're not just chewing the fat. We're getting rid of it. We are your home for everything health and fitness. Living the Run is being brought to you by Running Warehouse, CrossFit Grover Beach, Artie's Pilates, and in partnership with the American Cancer Society and the Heal Slow Coalition. Here are your hosts for Living the Run, Ryan Ferran and Paul Tarek.
Health and Fitness Radio, it is Living the Run. Thank you so much for staying tuned after the Sports Bite with Alice and Waz to Live the Run. It is Health and Fitness Radio. We are following the Sports Bite every Wednesday night from 6 to 7 right here on ESPN 1280 The Ticket. It is Ryan Ferran here alongside the Olympian Paul Tarek and our producer Max Woodcock in studio tonight. Very excited for tonight's show. We're talking plenty of things that are going on in the health and fitness world. We're also going to be talking about the USA Track and Field World Championships going on right now. A lot of former Cal Poly alums and a few athletes with local ties competing. So we'll get you an update on how they are doing, how they did, and what is next. We'll also get Paul's thoughts on kind of how the World Championships and the results there figure in for next year's big year, which is obviously the Olympic year 2012 London. Our interview with Jordan Hasay that we did last week was it was great for Paul and I to do that. It was super fun. Everyone here on the Central Coast loves her, so we caught up with her as she's heading back. She just took off for Oregon to get ready for her junior year. And we'll give you the latest on that interview. It took off, hit a bunch of message boards and some of the more popular running websites. So our YouTube channel, actually, Paul, this week had a few hits, and our website, I thought, was about to blow up. So we'll get into the details of that. And Orthorexia. Have you ever heard of that? And to be perfectly honest, I have not heard of that until just recently. It's an obsession with healthy eating. It's a mental disorder.
Is that really an obsession? I mean, is that an obsession or a disorder? Or?
Well, when it gets in the way of your normal functioning activities, and this is a relatively new term, probably 10, 12, 15 years old, and it's just being researched a little bit more now, but it is kind of a new disorder, eating disorder, that people are looking into.
Yeah, it's considered normal to want chemicals and preservatives and steroids and antibiotics in your body. So if you don't want those things, you're shunned by society.
Yeah, so we'll talk more about that, what it is, and how you can find out more information. I think there are some interesting aspects to it. You know, when I'm eating healthy or trying something, and I'm on one of my good kicks and feeling good. You know, there's that. If you get off that train, do you feel guilty? How guilty do you feel? Or take that with, people that are obsessed with working out. Somebody who skips a workout, who's already worked out 6 days, they have one rest day and they're feeling guilty and kind of bad about missing that. That could lead to a problem, and it talks about some of the social and mental issues that you can have with an obsession with healthy eating. Although that does sound, when I first saw it, I was like, how can you have too much of a good thing?
I bet you it's an incredibly obese guy. He just started this out. He's like, this is ridiculous. This is a joke.
So we'll talk more about that. We'll get to our race calendar. I brought some gifts in today, too, for Paul and Max. I'll get to those.
Oh, man, I love presents.
So we'll get to the gifts. Our Malahi Ford text trivia. I'm excited for this one. Not sure how Max and Paul feel about it. Max likes it. I'm not sure how Paul feels about it. But our Malahi Ford text trivia, we're going to play you a song by a famous athlete, and we want to know who is singing that song. So when we get to that song, we'll play it for you. The number to text in is 242-1280. And I think I have a couple weeks of this where there's a couple places we can go and a couple different athletes trying to, cross over into the music industry. So it's pretty interesting.
Please make this a one-time gig.
No.
Make it a one-time deal.
There's a few. I have a couple in my mind that I'm thinking of.
Nothing by Shaq.
Oh, see, I didn't even think of Shaq. There we go. Oh, man. So we're going to get to that as well in Malahi Ford text trivia, 805-242-1280. That's also the number to text if you have any thoughts on orthorexia. Hey, do you know somebody who is obsessed with healthy eating? They won't have a cupcake at a dinner party. They obsess about what they're going to eat. They plan their meals, won't eat out, that sort of thing.
That doesn't sound like a big problem. That actually sounds like what we should all be striving for. I'm just saying. I'm not calling your theory crazy, but I just.
Not my theory, but I agree. I tend to agree with you. But when it starts interfering with your daily routine and you start obsessing about, eating healthy, and if you have, you have to stop by McDonald's and you're just like turn into a worrywart over one meal, especially obviously these people are eating extremely healthy on a regular basis. Driving yourself crazy if you can't have a salad.
But maybe that doesn't have a lot to do with so much the healthy eating. It just has to do with the addictive personality, maybe. And instead of drawing the light to eating healthy being a bad thing, it's just the fact that you can relax a little if you have to miss a meal, or if all they have is bad food. Well, that's fine. I'll just eat in moderation then.
Yeah. So it's definitely interesting, and I think there's some valid points to it. And one of the groups it says that are mostly doing this is athletes. And you used to be one of those, Paul, so be interested in get your perspective when we dive deeper into that. What else do we have coming? We'll get to our race calendar. New on the website this week, we have a couple new blogs. Our Gymnazo blog by Michael Hughes, the owner of Gymnazo and the head trainer over there. He just wrote a blog for us why semi-private training is better than group training and some of the benefits and why you should look into semi-private training. And Doctor's Orders blog, written by Dr. Brandon Cohn, a local chiropractor. He talks about the old hamstrings, those tight hammies, and he gives us some great examples of some stretches and things that we can do to work out the hamstrings. So you can go to livingtherun.com and check out our newest blogs. And Paul, you recently, we got to get to this. You recently made a very important purchase for the household.
Yeah, I gotta live and not so much live in the run, but I'm gonna live the pull-up. I just got a pull-up and dip machine, and I gotta get back into the swing of things. I do miss working out. I really, it was such a big part of my day, every single day for like 10 years, that there was a point where when I retired, I was like, man, I'm burned out. I didn't really have a carrot on the end of the stick. I didn't really have anything to train for. I would train until I was tired and then go, oh, okay, I'm tired now. I just don't feel like doing anymore. But the more I'm settling into everyday life and the family thing. There's a lot of time that I do miss. The what's that? Like a runner's high almost. I do miss the endorphins and the just the accomplishment you get with working out. So I got to get started again and pull-ups, push-ups, dips, all body weight stuff. Way to go.
That's old school right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a slab of meat out in my next phase. Like the punching bag.
Your freezer out in the garage.
Yeah,
that's all Rocky. Good. Rocky. That's Sylvester Stallone approved right there.
Yeah, I know Max doesn't want anything to do with my Sylvester Stallone workout, but
no,
just he's mad because he can't do a pull-up yet. He's working on it, and it's coming. It's coming. I've seen it, but in time.
And it's a little. We've talked about this before, but obviously you were on the 04 Olympic team, member of 3 World Championships. You're training 5-6 hours a day, and you're still. You say you're out of shape, and relatively speaking, you are. But does it get annoying to the fact that you used to be in less than 4% body fat and chiseled and the six-pack, and now you're almost like a normal person?
Thank you for depressing me. Thank you. No, it's.
But at least you had that once in your life. Most people don't.
It's kind of the yardstick. A lot of people spend their time trying to get back to, I think, where they were, and that's why they get very frustrated working out. And I've kind of let that go. I just want to be healthy. I just want to be in shape. I don't want to be winded walking up and down stairs. I want to be able to do a pull-up and, get a whole workout in and not feel bad about it. So if I end up getting back in shape and 5% body fat again, great. And if I don't, then I don't. But I'm just going to enjoy life, man.
Look, I think we need to do one or two things with you. We've talked about this before. You have such the athletic background.
You've condensed my list of problems to one or two things.
Well,
that was you had a list a mile long a week ago.
Well, the problems that affect me.
Oh,
your problems that affect me.
Is this the biggest loser theory you have? Your plan A?
Yeah. So either we get you way out of shape, gain you 100 pounds, get you on The Biggest Loser. You obviously win that, and we take home $250,000 for you and I to split, obviously. Or you do something competitively again. You have all this wealth of knowledge. What about triathlons or competing in some master races or something. What's the problem with that?
It's a very narrow scope of knowledge in track. And what do I transfer my javelin technique to?